Time I got left in Vegas for 2 weeks by this boy who I barely fucking knew, then ended up randomly meeting this boy at the bus stop who then introduced me to his sister who was on fucking drugs, who then introduced me to her dad who ended up pimping us out. Then I ended up getting caught in this thing. I ended up going to jail. Mind you, I was 17.
So I've decided to tell the full story of how I was harassed for 4 years. So is my child's father, and so is his wife. Only in the end, after court and subpoenas, I found out it was really my child's father's wife doing it to all of us, but making it look like it was me. This is a
All right, let me tell you about the craziest friendship fall I ever had in my motherfucking life. And mind you, this story's gonna have multiple parts, so keep in mind. But anyways, I was friends with this girl, and we just gonna cut this
Hey guys, welcome back to Crazy Storytime with Ashley T. In today's video, we've got some absolutely wild stories you are not going to believe. If you're new here, welcome to the family. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a story. All right, let's get into it.
Y'all know I love putting y'all in my business so nobody else has to. Boom. Let me tell y'all about the time I got left in Vegas for 2 weeks by this boy who I barely fucking knew, then ended up randomly meeting this boy at the bus stop who then introduced me to his sister who was on fucking drugs, who then introduced me to her dad who ended up pimping us out. Then I ended up getting caught in this thing. I ended up going to jail. Mind you, I was 17. Then ended up getting questioned by the police because the dad who ended up pimping us out was wanted by the police for fucking human trafficking. So boom, y'all, I'm walking from the bar station, right? I see this fine ass chocolate nigga pull up on me. You feel me? He pull up on me. He got his own car, mind you. I'm 17. I'm green as fuck. I had just started hoeing. You feel me? My nigga who I was fucking with was in jail at the time. Mind you, this was my first love. I did a story time on him and how he had got shot and killed in front of me. So I gotta go check that out. So, you know, he was in jail. So, you know, when this fine ass chocolate nigga pull up, I'm like, okay, you feel me? He ended up getting my number. Me and him ended up chit chatting. We ended up linking up. I ended up fucking on the nigga. And he ended up convincing me to go to Vegas with him. Mind you, I had never been out California before, so I'm like, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity for me to prove myself to my nigga, like that I'm that bitch who could really get some money. I was a runaway. I had already dropped out of school. Like, you know, I was just ready. So anyway, me and the nigga had linked up a couple more times, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, like, it was literally like he was like my best friend. Like, even though me and the nigga barely knew each other, it seemed like we knew each other forever. Hold on, you know, I don't want my lips chat, but it seemed like we knew each other forever. So we had said we was gonna get some money together to get on Amtrak, but I had kind of already told him, like, look, I don't have no money to buy the Amtrak ticket, but I can definitely make the money once I get out there. You know, like, I knew how to talk to a nigga, like, to, you know, get what I want. So he was like, okay. So my whole thing was, even though I was hunching on a nigga and shit like that, and I barely knew the nigga, my whole goal was I'm trying to get to Vegas. So that's all I gave a fuck about. I didn't give a fuck about nothing else. The nigga ended up buying my Amtrak ticket. We ended up getting on Amtrak. We doing crazy shit. We, mind you, not to even mention, we arguing and we fighting like we done been together. Like, it was just crazy, like, how toxic it was so fucking fast. Like, and mind you, I only had knew the nigga like within 2 weeks before we got on the Amtrak to go to Vegas. So we on the train, we arguing, we fighting, we doing hella shit. We hunching in the back of the train. We doing all type of shit, y'all. We get to Vegas, his dad ended up picking us up. His dad and his dad's little young ass girlfriend and they baby or whatever. So they pick us up. The dad already asking for how old the fuck I am. Because y'all see right now, I probably look like I don't know how the fuck old y'all think I look. Probably no older than like 21, 22, baby. I'm 29. So just imagine how young I look to be at 17. So they already fake knew that I was so young. So they already was questioning shit, but he already like put me on to tell them that I was 18. So I'm like, I know I'm 18, like whatever. So they asking to see ID and shit, but I'm like, I don't have no ID. So they already was like, bitch, you 18, but you ain't got no ID, like whatever. But he was like a young dad, so he was kind of hip to like what was going on. So he was just kind of like, whatever, like just don't involve us in no bullshit. Like, y'all need to go get some money. We could drop her off right here. She can make some money. Y'all can get a room. That was the plan. We was only supposed to really go there just to drop our clothes off and then, you feel me, make some money and do our own shit. So boom. We get to the strip. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I had never been out there before. Mind you, I told him, like, I do make money, but Vegas is a whole different type of environment. And if you know, you fucking know it. Like, it's totally different from walking the little blades I was used to walking in California. We get to the hotel, one of those little hotels or whatever. And of course, like, we're arguing. I was and still am a disrespectful little bitch. So I was talking my shit. I was popping it real hard. Popping it so hard that I got left. So we arguing about something. I'm popping it. He ended up storming off, basically, and he was just like, bitch, you need to make some money. So, but I'm just like, you know, I'm thinking that he's kind of like showed me how I'm, like, what I'm supposed to do. Like, he did kind of give me like a little rundown of what I was supposed to do, but like, he didn't really like tell me like the last nigga told me, you know. I'm walking around, I'm trying to find something, but ain't nothing coming my way. I'm honestly kind of scary at this point. Like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. So I'm just like, I want to get my shit, and I can just, you can do your shit and you can do your thing, I can do my thing. And the nigga was not trying to give me my shit, y'all. So long story short, the nigga ended up blocking me. Like, I guess, like, whoever he was with was basically telling them, like, I ain't on shit, like, they need to leave me alone, with woo woo. And he left me. Like, he literally just stopped talking to me. Like, didn't give a fuck about me being out there. Didn't give a fuck about that he had my clothes. That all I literally had was my purse, my phone, the clothes on my back, and no fucking money. Just imagine being 17 years old. You in a brand new city. You've never been there before. You don't know nobody. Nobody really even fucking knows you out there. I was just so like, and then now I'm gonna have to end up telling my nigga who's in jail that I'm even out here, and because I'm stuck and I don't know what to do, and now he need to give me the proper motherfucking instructions to get some fucking money because I don't know what the fuck to do. So eventually, I'm out there. The nigga calls me. I think I kept trying to like wait to, because I was hoping that maybe I could try to like make some money before like I had to tell him that I was even out there. So I was probably out there like 2 days, y'all. Pretty much just sleeping like in a casino area, like, or I was just staying up, like, you know. And then it was crazy because the night I ended up having to tell him I made some money, y'all. And why the fuck I go inside the bathroom? I went to go use the bathroom. Mind y'all, I'm hella young. I'm tired. This was back when, like, you know, I had dibbled and dabbled in a little coke, I think, at the time, but like I really wasn't in my pill popping era yet. So I was literally just up off adrenaline, bitch, at this point, you know. And I was never a drinker, and I didn't have no weed, I don't think so. I'm just up off adrenaline. So I end up going in the bathroom. I end up losing the money. I was hella mad. I'm damn near crying at this point because I'm like, fuck, like, I don't even know what to do. So when the nigga ended up calling me the next day from jail, I ended up just telling the nigga everything that happened. I don't think I told him the part about me coming out there with the nigga, but I told him, you feel me, that I was stuck out there. I told him I got a ride out there with somebody. And anyway, I need to know what the fuck to do. So he told me to walk my ass down to Tropicana, which I did. I went down there and I made me some motherfucking money. And what I would do is I would drop my purse off because I would go to like the little mall area, the little strip mall or whatever, and I would steal me some clothes. And then I would like stuff and roll my clothes inside my bag and to fit in my bag. And then like when I would be going to go make some money, I would drop my bag off to valet, get a valet ticket. I would go try to make some money and then come back and get my bag after my little couple hours was up or whatever. How I ended up meeting the boy who ended up introducing me to his sister, who ended up introducing me to their dad, who ended up pimping us out. How I met them motherfuckers was, I think at this point I had damn near been out there for like 3 days or maybe 4 days. This particular day, I had checked out my room. I had checked my bags into valet. I ended up going to go pick them up. And I went to the mall to try and steal something to wear so that I can go out, you know, and be able to change my clothes and not be in the same clothes that I've been in. While I'm at the bus stop waiting on the bus, because I was like, damn, like my legs hurt so fucking bad because I was like literally walking everywhere because every fucking dollar I had I wanted to keep. But I'm like, damn, like I need to catch the bus back. As I'm waiting at the bus stop, I ended up running into like this guy, and he's like, oh, he's a white guy. He's like kind of like giving like goth but punk rock but skater boyish type vibes. Like that's kind of like the vibes he gave. And we just kind of was like chopping it up. He was just like, hey. And I was just like, hey. I'm like, you know who got weed around here? And he was like, actually, yeah, I do. Whoopie whoop whoop whoop. And he was like, what are you doing out here? And we just kind of like was sparking up conversation to where like, I don't know. I guess I probably told him I was out there trying to make some money in the room. I'm like, I didn't really have nowhere to go. I'm like, I'm just pretty much walking around. And he was like, oh, well, my sister pretty much does the same thing you do. If you want me to introduce her to you, like, and we have a big ass house, like, it's just us, like, you know, we stay with our dad, like, you can come over, like, it's cool, like, you can come over and chill and meet my sister, you can check the vibes out. If you're not feeling it, like, you can always leave. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Why the fuck not? I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm hungry as fuck. I'm tired as fuck. I'm sleepy as fuck. Okay, y'all, wait. I think I'm gonna have to end up doing a part 2 because this video is kind of getting way too long. So I'm gonna have to come back and yeah, I'm gonna go make another video. I'll be right back. Part 2 of how I got left in Vegas by a boy who I only knew for 2 weeks, and I ended up running into this other boy who ended up introducing me to his sister, who introduced me to their dad, and ended up pimping us out. And I ended up going to jail and getting questioned by the police because he was wanted for sex trafficking. I left off at the part where I told y'all that I had met the boy at the bus stop. He basically had told me, like, you know, my sister do the same thing that you do. If you want to come over to our house, like, it's good. So anyway, me and the boy had caught the bus to his house, and his house was hella nice. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like, they had a big ass house, and it was just the 3 of them in there, and I think they had like a 5-bedroom house. And the dad reminded me of Ice-T. Like, he reminded me just of Ice-T. He was light-skinned. He was short. He had, like, a slick-back, like, little ponytail, but he was balding at the top. Like, looked just like Ice-T, I swear to God. Introduced me to the sister. The sister was hella pretty. Like, me and her instantly clicked, y'all. The same as me and the brother. Like, I don't know. I think at that point, I was going to instantly click with anybody because I needed a place to go. I'm a social butterfly. Like, I'm just that type of person. Like, I could vibe with literally anybody that I meet. I'm a Taurus. I'm just That's just me. But anywho, so everything was going good. I was there for like a couple days. She ended up introducing me to her other friends, and they just gave like rich vibes. The other bitch, they pulling up in Benzes, they flashing hella money. Like she telling me how she be seeing all these elite tricks and how, she's pretty much like walking me through like how to work Vegas and all this other shit. Maybe I probably was at their house for like a week before I ended up getting caught in this thing and going to jail. Like the first 2 to 3 days, she was pretty much like just telling me how everything worked. And then like the dad, he was kind of really weird. He would just be like telling me how pretty I am and how nice my body is and how I should be a model. He would be like, oh, like, you should spend a night in my room, we don't have to do nothing or anything, but like, I think like you should just spend a night in my room. He would just make little slick comments like that. And then one day, like the daughter had heard him ask me that. And she was like pulling me to the side, like when he wasn't around, and was like, don't spend a night with him. I don't care what he say. My dad's cool and all that, but he does this to like a lot of my friends, and I just don't do it. He definitely gave grooming vibes because like I remember one day he had sat me down and we was in the living room and he was basically telling me how he was this big producer and how he used to work with like all these famous rappers, and he's like literally showing me old videos and old like interviews from back in the day with like him and hella famous people who I'm not gonna say, but he was basically just, I guess, trying to make me feel more comfortable about staying there. And in a sense, like, I guess it did make me feel more comfortable because I kind of felt like, I'm around, like, I done really met some cool ass people. Like, these motherfuckers got money. I'm chilling in here. Like, the sister cooking for me every day. The brother bringing us weed. He going out. He doing his own thing. And not to mention how the dad had the son and the motherfucking daughter smoking heroin out of a motherfucking foil packet. And I only know because I thought the shit was some coke. And I asked the bitch to hit it. And she was like, oh, no, bitch, you don't want to hit this. And I was like, you know what? When she told me what it was, I was like, you're goddamn right. I don't. I mean, it was just cool. So, boom, it got time for us to get some money. So me and the sister, we go out one day. She ended up finding this trick for us or whatever. We did a double. Everything went cool. Ended up getting to keep my money. She kept her money, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And then the next day, I noticed like he was like, even like the first day when me and her went out, like the dad was hella texting her like, did y'all make some money? Like, where y'all at? How y'all doing? Like, what's going on? And, she was just kind of telling me like, oh, he always does this. Like, he's just checking in on me. Like, he's kind of like my bodyguard. Like, he just makes sure like everything goes smooth. So like I said, the first day we went out, it was just me and her. And I mean, it was always just me and her, but like the dad was more so involved more the second time. Like he was like, he wanted my number. He wanted me to text him and let him know like where we were at all times. He wanted my location, just all that type of weird shit, which at the time I kind of didn't see anything wrong with it because I believed her when she was telling me he's just doing that, just to be protective and just to make sure everything goes good and that nothing happens and we don't get harmed because these tricks are really hella crazy. And I'm just like, oh, okay, the whole time we're out, he's just asking us hella questions. And then like he's basically telling us, after you guys go out this time, like since I let you guys keep your money yesterday, like you guys are gonna have to start, paying and giving me the money, and I'll make sure like y'all good. I'll make sure y'all get to where y'all need to go. Like he was paying for our Ubers to get there and get back and stuff like that. And I was like cool with it because I'm just like, okay, well, I am staying at these people's house, like, why not? And it was only the first time, that I had went out and he had said I had to do that. So I was like, okay, maybe this isn't going to be like an everyday thing. So we went out. I think I had made some money, and I was telling him like how much I was making. Like I was telling him every time I got off a date. This was like maybe, I think like maybe like the fourth day that I had went out. And he was still asking me every night, like if I could sleep with him, asking me if I can come in a room with him, asking me to send him pictures. He's sending me pictures and shit like that. And I was just kind of thrown off, but I was like just trying to play my part because like I said, I needed somewhere to stay. So this last particular day, me and her had went out together. We had separated because I'm like, look, bitch, like the casinos is fake way slow. Like that's not really my cup of tea. Like, bitch, I need to go to the Blade. They're going to be pulling up and I could see these motherfuckers face to face and I could really, you feel me, talk them into what the fuck I want them to pay me real quick. But, like I said, like if this is what work for you, it work for you. But she was just like, okay, cool. Like, split up and then meet back up, So, and I think she had ended up catching a date. So I went to Tropicana, mind you, it's rolling, y'all. When I say it's rolling, I mean I'm getting in, I'm getting out, I'm getting in, I'm getting out, I'm getting in, I'm getting out. Like that motherfucker rolling. And it was this one in particular trick who kept trying to see me and I kept saying no, right? I kept saying no, but like I ended up just seeing him anyway. He ended up pulling into the gas station. Y'all, mind you, I asked him, I'm like, when I got in the car, I'm like, are you the police? He was like, no. I'm like, can you touch me? He was like, no, but you could put my hand where you want me to touch you. Which, ladies, peep game. So I grabbed his hand and I put his hand, I think, like on my breast area. That was it. And I was just like, okay. I was, I guess, satisfied at that point. So he drove off. He pulled into the gas station. He was like, oh, wait, I think my tire's flat. And I already was like, oh my God, like, this is the setup. Like, I knew I shouldn't have got in this car. Boom, 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 boom. Police come knocking at the motherfucking window. And I'm spooked. Mind you, at this point, like I said, y'all, I'm 17. I ain't never been to the big girl jail before. These motherfuckers think that I'm over 21. So at this point, they're telling me that, first of all, I'm lying about my age. They ended up finding out that I was lying about my name because when I told the name, I told them, and then the cards, because I had like medical, like my Kaiser cards. Hold on. My bad, y'all. My allergies is fucking with me. My nose probably look red because I just had to sneeze about 6 times and blow my nose, y'all. But anyway, so boom. I had my medical cards or whatever, my Kaiser cards in my bag, and they said my name. You feel me? So they're telling me that they're about to take me to the big people jail. At that point, I'm telling them, like, look, I'm underage. Take me to juvie, bitch. Take me to juvie. Don't take me to grown people jail, because I done heard things about grown people jail, baby, and I wasn't ready to go there yet. So, boom, they ended up taking me to the adult jail anyway, because they're like, look, at this point, we don't know what to believe. You very much well could be a minor, but before we can dictate and confirm if you're a minor or not, like, we need to, get everything, like, fingerprint you and all that shit. So they take me to the people jail. I'm in, like, the little waiting room area. They take my phone and shit, of course, and then they ended up finding out I'm a minor, and they found out that I had a warrant, and they found out that I was a runaway, and so they took me to juvie, and I ended up staying at the little juvenile detention camp for like maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks before. No, how long was I? Maybe 3 weeks, because California had about 30 days, maybe 45 days to come pick me up, and them motherfuckers came. When I say them motherfuckers came and picked me up, baby, that was the time. That was my first time ever getting on a flight. Was getting shipped back in handcuffs and shackles to motherfucking from Vegas to California. But anyway, so when I had got in there, they were telling me that they had looked at my phone and that they looked up the number and that they knew the guy that I was texting and that he was wanted for human trafficking, and that they were looking at me as a victim, and they wanted to know, like, was he forcing me? Was I coerced? Like, what was going on? And I was just so scared. I basically just told them, like, I didn't know anything. Like, I just basically told them what she told me. Like, he was just making sure, like, nothing happened to us. Like, I don't know. Like, bitch, I'm 7. Bitch, take me to California. Bitch, this ain't my cup of tea. I don't even know these people. Part 3 on how I got left in Vegas by this dude who I only knew for 2 weeks. Then ended up meeting this other dude who then ended up introduced me to his sister, who introduced me to her dad, who ended up pimping us out. And then I ended up getting caught in this thing, going to jail, and finding out that he was wanted for sex trafficking. So where I left off at was how I was in the interrogation room with the police. They was pretty much asking me, like, was I forced? Was I coerced? Like, how did I end up meeting this man? How did I meet the kids? How long was I there? Was he pimping me? What was going on? Like, they wanted to see. But baby, it really wasn't no pipe of hot tea to give them, because I could only tell them what the fuck I knew. Like, baby, I don't really even know these people. I literally came out here with another nigga who ended up leaving me. I met these people, and they was pretty much just helping me out. Like, I mean, at this point, they already pretty much knew we was out there home, so it wasn't no reason for me to sit there and lie about what the fuck we was out there doing. They had the text messages. They had caught me. They already knew everything. They came to me with all the information. Like, they told me the dad's first and last name. They told me his address. They told me the kids' names, all that shit. Like, and they didn't get all that from my phone, because their address was never in my phone. Like, anytime we ever went to their house, coming or going, like, I always was with them. So it was never no need for them to text me the address or anything like that, type shit. So when I tell y'all that they had a file so thick and tall on that motherfucking man, that shit was crazy. Like, they had so much information on him. And of course, they really didn't tell me much. They were just basically wanted me to know that he was under investigation, that this was a very serious case, that they were looking at me as a potential victim. And they asked, like, if anything ever came, if anything ever happened down the line, would I ever be willing to testify, like, the things that I did know about this man? And I was just basically letting them know, like, no, I'm 17. First of all, snitching growing up was prohibited. Anywho, like, I couldn't even tell you anything if I knew it. Like, I wasn't really asking them any type of questions. I could literally only tell you what the fuck you literally already know from reading the text messages, bitch. Like, that's really all I am going to tell you, because, bitch, it ain't no point in me telling you nothing else. Like, it's nothing else I could really tell. I really did not know any real personal information about any of these people. I didn't even know if the names they gave me was even their real names, but it was. But anywho, as I said before, I ended up staying at the detention facility for a couple weeks. California did end up coming out there. They sent the two officers out there to fly out there and get me. I flew back. They did have me in handcuffs and shit when I was walking through the airport and shit, which was so fucking embarrassing. But they knew how embarrassing that was for me because I was like, look, I know I'm a bad girl because obviously I wouldn't have to get on the plane to come get me, but I'm really not as bad as a girl as you think I am, so please. Like, let's be modest here. You know what I mean? So let's keep it cute. They did put a jacket over my handcuffs so that the people who were walking through the airport, I mean, they knew I was being escorted, but they didn't know I was in handcuffs. They ended up buying me some Burger King. We talked, we chit-chatted, boom, went to jail. Got out of jail, ended up getting back in touch with the girl because we did have each other on Instagram. Like I didn't end up getting my phone back, so I didn't have her phone number, but we did have each other on Instagram, so I messaged her on there. And keep in mind, y'all, I had not talked to this girl since I went to jail. So the last time we had talked, all she knew was that I was going on dates back to back to back to back to back. All she knew was that I was telling her I was gonna meet up with her a little bit later, all this little shit. So we had never talked. I didn't even know if she even knew I went to jail. You know what I mean? So when I did finally talk to her, she did tell me that she did know I went to jail because she said her dad told her. And I don't know how the dad found out that I was in jail. Maybe like the police questioned him about me and that's how he found out. But yeah, because another thing I forgot to mention was that when I was with the police, they was basically trying to they were trying to really emphasize how important it was for me to tell them what they knew because he was literally 40 plus years old and I was only 17 years old and his kids were also very young. So this has been going on for a long time and they were just trying to get me to see that that wasn't right, which I mean, duh, bitch, I can hear it and hear it doesn't sound right, but it's nothing I can really do for you or tell you. Anywho, the dad ended up telling her that he knew that I was in jail, so that's how she ended up finding out. But at that moment, she wasn't currently staying with her dad. I believe she told me that he was in jail. So I do believe that he went to jail. I don't know what for. I don't know if it was for the same case. I really didn't ask hella questions. Why? I don't fucking know, y'all. Like, I just don't know. I was just happy to be home. Like, I didn't even know these people. I wasn't, honestly, at the time, interested in even figuring it out, to be so real with you. Like, I was just happy to be back and to be out of that situation. The dad ended up losing the house. So she was currently staying with her baby daddy. At this point, it had been like a couple months since everything had happened. Like, I want to say 6 months. And she was already about to have her daughter. She was staying with the baby daddy. The brother and her really weren't close. So I'm not sure where the brother went, but she wasn't really dealing with him. And she wasn't fucking with her dad either. So I just really had felt bad for her. She also was in and out of rehab. She was trying to get clean, but she was still like dibbling and dabbling with the hair on. So it was just a lot. And I just felt so bad for her. I really just wished, because I was just so stuck in my own shit back then. I really didn't even find the time, make the time, try to think about the time to try to get to know her and figure out what was going on with her and dig deeper into the source of the problem and see if there was anything I could do to help her or if she needed anybody to talk to about the things that she was going through. And now, like I said, me being older, I wish I would have, because maybe I could have helped her. Maybe I could have saved her. Like, I don't know. But I don't even remember any of their information to even be able to like look them up, see what's going on, see whatever happened to him. It happened so long ago. And like I said, I didn't even really know these people. So it really ain't too much else to tell y'all. That was really the story. I met this random nigga. He took me to Vegas. He left me. I met the people. The dad pimped us out. And he was wanted for sex trafficking. And eventually he did go to jail. But like I said, I don't know what for. So I'm going to assume it was for that because they were building such a strong case on him. Over the years, I did try and stay in touch with the sister. But, of course, the hating ass nigga that I got right now somehow ended up locking me out my other social media. So that was like pretty much my only way of getting in contact with her. And she also wasn't a social media girly. She was one of them girlies that you just really had to know her to know her. And if you didn't already know her, then you probably would never meet her because she wasn't into Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and things like that, you know? One more thing I wanted to touch on was somebody in the comments had asked, how do I know that was even her real dad? Honestly, I don't even know if that was her real dad. I really couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you if they were adopted. Like I said, I was only worried about getting some money, having a place to stay, and trying to fucking survive and get the fuck out of there. Like, I really wasn't even trying to ask that many questions. All the questions that I wish I would have asked then are the same questions y'all got now. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know where the bitch mama was at. I don't know what they told me. I don't even know if anything that they did tell me was the truth. I don't know. I wish I did. And I really haven't told this story often because it was just something that happened that I guess I just kept in the back of my memories. I don't know, but yeah.
So y'all wanted the story time? I'm here to give it, okay? Let's go ahead and get into it. So, before I can fast forward, I do have to rewind just to give you guys the backstory of how everything panned out. So, the weekend of my birthday, which was just this past weekend, keep up with the timeline, y'all. Just this past weekend, my homegirls are hitting me up like, hey, what are we doing for your birthday? Yeah. And so I was like, actually, I have a trip planned already, which they knew about. So I'm going to keep it really light in the city. And my hair is not done. And if you know me, you know I don't go nowhere without my hair did, okay? So I was like, I'm not going to do anything really. I just want to do like a little spa day, something relaxing, go to church, just like the most low key of low keyest things that I could possibly do. And my friends were like, bitch, what? Now, mind you, my friends know that I'm a big birthday person. I love to celebrate my birthday. I love to do like dinners, going out of town, So when I was telling them I was keeping it low, I think it was disrupting their spirit. And they were like, girl, slick your shit back in a ponytail and let's keep it pushing. So after a little bit of convincing, I was like, you know what? Y'all right. So that's exactly what I did. I put my shit in a slick back bun and my little knot. And I said, let's go. So Friday, we ended up going to like a little bar. It was like new and it was actually a really good time. The libation started flowing. We started having a good time. I'm drinking, we smoking hookah. And then we went to another little spot. Same thing. The vibe was just good. So then one of the girls that was out with us was like, hey, my homeboy has a section and he has a section at your favorite place. Now, if you know me, you know my favorite spot. So at this point, I'm feeling good. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go. Let's keep the party going. So we end up heading to, and we get there. We get in her homeboy section. They were very nice gentlemen. And it's probably about like 4 or 5 of them, right? So right across from us is a section full of men as well. And one of the fine gentlemen from that section comes up to me and was like, listen, I don't know who you're here with. And personally, I don't care. He was like, I just think that you're so beautiful and like, come take a shot with me. So for one, I was like, you real bold to walk up on me in this section full of men. You don't know if any of these men are my man or whatever the case is, but I thought it was courageous. So I was like, you know what? Let me go take a shot with him. To his section, I take a shot. He happens to glance over at the section we were just at and sees that 2 of my friends are not drinking. So he was like, why are they not drinking? I was like, oh, they don't drink tequila. That was all that was in the section at the time. And he was like, oh, well, what do they drink? So I told him, and baby, 2 to 5 minutes later, their shots were out. So I said, okay, not only is he taking care of me, he's taking care of my friends. Like, I'll just entertain this. Let's see what is given. So throughout the night, I was hopping back and forth between my homegirls section that we were in and his section, just dilly-dallying. And at this point, I'm lit. So we exchanged numbers, and it's like getting toward the end of the night. And he's like, if you can carve out some space for me tomorrow, I would love to take you out on a date. And I was like, oh, I can see what I could do. I might could pencil you in. Whole time I was available, but whatever. We never want to play it desperate. And so that's what we ended up doing. And that's when you seen us go on the date from the previous video. Now, I'm going to rewind just a little bit. When we were at the spot, me and my girls weren't ready to go home yet. So we ended up going to the booty club. Okay. So as I'm at the booty club, he was texting me like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, we at the club, whatever, the booty one. And he was like, oh, which one are you at? So I ended up telling him or whatever. He was like, oh, I might pull up. And I'm like, bet. Because at this point, like I said, I'm on the moon. I'm having the time of my life. But a few moments later, he did end up texting and saying like, hey, I'm not going to make it. And I'm like, all right, even better. And so my phone ends up dying while I'm in the booty club. So I was able to go home. I charged my phone and I knocked out immediately. So when I woke back up, obviously my phone was fully charged. I had so many missed calls and texts from him. And I was like, oh, he probably gonna think like I just like didn't want to talk to him. So I obviously was like, I apologize. I'm sorry my phone died. He was like, no, it's good. Things are still super straight at this point. And then obviously we went on the date. We don't have to recap the date because you guys already seen that. So Saturday night, he asked me after the date, like, oh, what do you have planned tomorrow? I'm like, well, tomorrow's my actual birthday, and my girls did like a little brunch for me, so I'm gonna go to brunch with them. And he was like, you should cancel it and spend your day with me. Nigga, what? Nigga, I just met you. Why you think I'm about to cancel my plans to come kick it with you? But whatever. I didn't even say it that way. I'm thinking that in my head. That's what's clocking to me. But I didn't say it to him that way. I said, although that sounds nice, I'm like, my girls went out of their way to like plan a brunch for me. So I'm going to go with my girls. And if you're available after I finish, like we can link up. After a little bit of hassle, he finally was like, okay, you're right. Like, go with your girls, have fun, hit me when you're done. So I ended up going to brunch with my girls. Remember, Super Bowl Sunday, this is my actual birthday. I ended up going to brunch with my girls. We're having mimosas, we're yapping, we're just like having a good time or whatever. So we finish up. I end up going home showering because it was actually hot that day. And so I called him and I'm like, hey, I'm actually finished with what I was doing. I'm not sure if you're still up to seeing one another, but I have some availability. And he's like, perfect. He was like, I'm doing a little watch party of the Super Bowl if you want to stop by at my crib. So at first I was like, I don't know if I want to go to this nigga's house, but the vibe was like, okay. And because it was going to be, more people there, I was like, you know what, I'll just do it. And if anything pop out, I got something that can hold them. So I end up going there. There was another gentleman there, as well as him and myself. He makes me a drink. He makes me a hookah. And like, y'all, the vibe was so good. We were having such a good time. So we're watching the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden he gets a phone call and he steps into his bedroom. So he takes his call. He comes back up and he was like, babe, I have an emergency that I have to take care of, some business, yeah. So essentially, like, I'm going to get you a car and like, you got to go home. And I was looking like, is everything okay? It was just so left field, y'all. And I was just like, nigga, if you had another bitch coming over here, you could just say that. We just met 24 hours ago. It's not that serious, but whatever. And I was like, well, is everything okay? Like, are you straight? He was like, no, I'm straight. It's just my business partner. He went into a whole spiel about something. So he called my car, baby, and I was on my way. End up getting home. I'm just about to wash my face off, and one of my homegirls hit me and was like, happy birthday, babe. She was like, I'm in town for one night. I want to see you. Like, pull up on me. And so I was like, you know what? Why not? Fuck it. Like, my plans just got fucked up. This nigga did all of that boohoo crying about spending a day with him just to, yeah, let me go link up with her. So I link up with her, y'all. This is when shit started to go fucking left. We end up going to this club or whatever. He texted me probably like an hour when I was in the club and was like, can I spend some time with you? Mind you, you already messed up our plans. I'm doing something else. Now you want to spend time? So I was like, I'm actually with my homegirl right now. We're out, blah, 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 blah. And he was just like, oh, okay. He was like, well, I was out. I was, just trying to see if I could maybe stop by, pick you up. Nigga. So he's like, okay, well, I'm leaving this spot. I'm just going to go home. And I'm like, all right, sounds great. Talk to you later. Y'all. Why do I get a text message maybe 30 minutes later that says, come have a drink with me at the bar? What the fuck are you doing here? So now I'm like, what the hell? So I go to the bar. I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's going to be him and his homeboy or him and some people. Y'all, this nigga's at the bar by himself. He came to the club that I was at by himself. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, something off with this nigga. So whatever, I'm drinking, smoking hookah with him, and he's like, oh, do your homegirls need a bottle or whatever? And I'm like, no, we're in her homeboy section, we're good. Why did this nigga invite himself in the section? He was like, can I come over there? No, you cannot. So I go back to my homegirl section. He texts me again like, come smoke hookah with me. So I'm trying to go back and forth, and it's too much. So finally my homegirl texted me, she was like, where you at? We finna leave. I must have got out of there so god doggone fast. So as a courtesy, I'm like, hey, we're about to leave. I think we might go to the booty club, whatever. He was like, all right, I'm going to just go home. Y'all, why did this nigga pop up at the booty club? The same booty club we were at the night before. standing at the bar in the corner just looking stupid. I thought you were going home. So I went up to his ass because I wanted him to know, like, you know I see you in here, right? And he's like, you lied to me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he said some other shit, y'all. I just walked the fuck away. Like, nigga, have you lost your mind? You're doing too much. I just met you 24 hours ago. So the moral of the story is, we did not talk after that, and we probably will not talk because you're giving stalker and creepy vibes. So that was the story.
This just don't make no sense. Story time. But before we get started, I just want to let you know, don't invite me to no more birthday dinners. Don't invite me to no more nothing that involves a large group of people and we got to pay together. Story time. Something similar that happened before. I get invited to one of my old co-workers' birthday party dinner. She has the nerve to invite us out, okay? We already knew that it was a possibility in the air because I was telling about a similar situation I had with splitting the check. That it was a possibility that we're not going to be able to split the check after COVID. They stopped doing that in separate ways, separate tabs. One girl that's the birthday girl, best friend, should have understood the assignment. She's the one that should have understood the assignment out of everybody. She ordered, like, so much stuff. When I say it was like this girl ordered like 7 drinks. 7 drinks. A steak. And a dessert to go. Oh, did I mention an appetizer? So we get the tab. Everybody else, once again, just ordering like 2 drinks and a meal. I know her stuff was majority of the tab. And this time, we're at steak 48. It's not nowhere cheap. It's not nowhere where it's like, okay, you get a steak, we have Ruth Chris, it's 60, 70, maybe dollars. No, baby. No. We have steak 48 with, it's 48 and like, it's high as a motherfucker. Like, you should have known that you ain't had the money to match that on the menu. So why would you do that? It was time to order, to pay the tab. And the lady explained to us that we cannot split it, which we already knew, with separate checks. So everybody putting up their amount plus $15 to $20. I think everybody put up what they had plus $20 for tax and gratuity, like the tip. Here go Miss Mamas. Let's split it all evenly. Why would we split it all evenly? Why would we do that? So I'm once again, I'm not holding my tongue. I could just pay for hers, but guess what? I'm not gonna do that because you're the best friend, birthday girl best friend, and you already knew that we was taking her tab too. So I'm just confused on why you sitting right here acting like you want all of us to split it 8 ways. 8 ways, $1,500 8 ways. What you gonna do is pay $400 because I know most of it was from you. When I tell y'all I was so embarrassed, I never been humiliated like this in my life. I don't know what it is, but stop inviting me out. Stop inviting me out to stuff, and you gonna embarrass me. Stop inviting me to stuff if your pockets don't match the menu or what you ordered. Stop. So let me tell y'all, me and the girl got into it real.
She knew this guy 2 weeks and crossed state lines with him. That feeling of instant connection is real, but it can also be manufactured by people who are skilled at reading exactly what you need. And every single time someone new entered her life, she was in need of something: a ride, a place to stay, food, safety. When you're operating from survival mode like that, your ability to properly assess people basically goes offline. You're not choosing, you're grabbing the nearest life raft. That father set her up bad. Never ask for something you can't repay. This is a cold world. The compliments, making her feel special, the comments about her body, asking her to sleep in his room, letting her stay for free before money ever came up. He didn't rush a thing. That patience is exactly what makes people like him dangerous, because it reads as generosity right up until it doesn't. The daughter warning her about the father while still being there herself, still deep in it, said everything about how long that cycle had been running in that house. And the brother introducing her without once mentioning his sister was on heroin? That detail matters, He framed it as, "My sister does what you do. Come meet her," which sounds like community, like a resource. But he left out the part that changes the entire picture. That's a sad family dynamic, man. Wow. She was 17, a victim by every legal definition, and her instinct was still just to stay quiet and get home. That's what growing up in an environment where snitching is survival does to a person. Even when the system is technically trying to help you, the conditioning runs deeper than the moment. Her talking about the sister at the end, wishing she'd dug deeper, wishing she could have helped her. She was 17 and in survival mode herself, so there's nothing to feel guilty about. But that reflection says everything about who she became after all of it. And honestly, I think she did save her. She got her away from the father and into rehab. Sometimes you have to look at it from a different angle. I'm glad she's still here to tell this story, because this was a lot. That other story, though, girl was not lying when she said the vibes shifted fast, because that whole thing went from a cute birthday meet cute to a full red flag documentary in real time. The moment he tried to get her to cancel her brunch plans after knowing her for literally one day, that's the tell. That's controlling behavior wearing a costume. A secure person doesn't pressure you to abandon your friends for someone you just met. He was already testing how much influence he had over her, and she clocked it immediately, then handled it with more grace than he deserved. The dead phone situation is also telling, because in his mind, that probably became a whole narrative. He was already building stories about her loyalty before they'd been on a single real date. That kind of thinking, the suspicion, the stories, no amount of bottles and shots can cover that up. And the showing up, that's what really gets me. Because in a different context, that's a rom-com. Boy likes girl, keeps finding her at the same spots. But the energy was completely off. He wasn't excited to see her. He was monitoring her. There's a massive difference between those two things, and your gut always knows which one it is. Buying rounds for her friends, sending cars, making hookah, sure, all of that reads as attentive. But gestures don't cancel out behavior that makes you uncomfortable. A gift is not a trade for your boundaries. Also, 3 people at a Super Bowl watch party? That threw me completely off, I won't even lie. But really, it sounds like someone I know had a similar experience recently. A guy who was giving full stalker energy within the first 12 hours. It's like, why are men getting weirder? Lord.
All right, let me tell you about the craziest friendship fall I ever had in my motherfucking life. And mind you, this story is going to have multiple parts, so keep in mind. But anyways, I was friends with this girl, and we just going to cut this short. I had some family stuff going on, and I need to stay at somebody's house from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. 2 days out the week. Called up my homegirl. My homegirl's like, girl, that's so crazy. You can just come live with me. Just come live with me. And so I was kind of skeptical, but I'm like, okay, girl. So I come move in. Now, mind y'all, first red flag is me, her boyfriend, and her live in the same house. Why the fuck has it been 2 weeks and I've only seen my friend twice? 7 days in each week, I've only seen her 1 day out of each week. But hey, we're going to get to that part later. The first thing that made me side-eye her and made me feel like something was wrong with this bitch was when I gave the door code out to a friend. Now, mind you, I shouldn't have did that. Irresponsible of me. I was 17 at the time. Yes, that was wrong of me. She confronted me about it. She was upset, rightfully so. And, I took accountability. I'm like, girl, I'm going to pay to get the door lock changed. And she's like, yeah, you better do it, blah, blah, blah. I made a whole big ass scene, y'all. Why the hell when I sent her the money, she sent it back to me and said, never mind. It's not that deep. It's okay, girl. I was like, okay. All right, cool. So next thing. In the beginning when I got there, I'm like, yo, can I have company over? You don't care if people come in the house? She like, yeah, that's fine. That's cool. I invite people over, y'all. I guess she ain't like how many people came over, and she was like, listen, I don't like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I understand. Because I was in a group chat at the time. It was a nice, healthy group of people. Respect that. It's your house. So bam, remember I told y'all she only be there like 1 day out the week. So bam, this one of the days she's there. And she's like, oh, can you help me do my hair? And I'm like, yeah, girl, I can help you do your hair today. But, I got me and my friends is going to hang out at the lake in the middle of the complex around like 7 o'clock. So let's have your hair done by 6. Yeah? And she's like, yeah, okay, we'll go get the stuff soon so we can have it done by then, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, bet. So y'all, the day's dragging by. She still ain't get up and get the stuff to do her hair. I'm like, hey, we need to have your hair done before 6 or else I'm not gonna be able to help you, sis. And she's like, oh, it's fine, we're about to go, blah, blah, blah. She keeps postponing, y'all. So why the hell 6:30 come around, I'm getting dressed to go hang out with my friends, and she's like, where are you going? I thought you were gonna help me with my hair. And I'm like, my friends are going to be here in a little bit, and we're about to be going to the lake in the middle of the complex to hang out, so I can maybe help you when I get back. She's like, nah, I'm gonna be tired. Just tell them they can come inside. They can come in. It's okay. So I was tripping when I said they couldn't come. And I'm like, okay. You sure? She's like, yeah, girl, I'm sure. Like, just help me part my hair and then y'all can hang out in the living room since I'm home. And I'm like, okay. So bam, let my friends in. I part her hair. I'm about to go. She's like, wait, can you help me mix the bleach? I'm like, okay, cool. Help her mix the bleach. She's like, wait, can you help me put it in my hair? I'm like, nah, my friends are out there. I can help you with your hair later, but I'm about to go tend to my company that's been sitting inside the living room for about an hour. This is where stuff got a little rocky. Because while I'm in the living room, she's walking back and forth by the living room, looking at everybody. Not greeting, just looking. Walking back, looking. Like for part 2. So cool beans. She walking back and forth. Me and my homegirls is all looking at each other, and my homegirls is all like, girl, what is up with your roommate? And I'm just like, child, I don't even know. But let's go to the back porch so we can, okay, and get about this girl face. So, we back there minding our business, and why do I see my roommate / homegirl walk out the front door? So I'm like, okay, cool. She must be about to go somewhere. No, y'all. This girl walks out the front door, goes around the entire complex, and then walks to the back where the patio's at that me and my homegirls are at. Again. She just leans over and she's like, so how's everybody? And we're like, good. How are you? She's like, good, okay. So which one of y'all are going to let her do your toes so she can stop aggravating me about it? The fuck? Now, mind y'all, I do nails and I do toes. And I had been asking her to do her toes so I could have some photos to put online. And she was excited. But you want to say that in front of my people? Okay, whatever. Then, after that, she walks inside the house, goes to the door of the patio that we're at that she could have came out the first time. And she starts jingling it. And she's like, oh, well, I'm going to need you to watch your child so she can stop fucking up my door handles. And I'm like, the hell? So after that, I'm like, okay, she's weird. And me staying here actually ain't going to work out. So I need to start figuring out something. So bam, flash forward to the next time she comes home. I was making my business flyers, and anybody that's tried to do Canva on their phone, Canva be kind of fucking up, and I knew she had an iPad, so I'm like, yo sis, can I use your iPad to work on this flyer on Canva? And she's like, yeah girl, go ahead, y'all. She gave me her iPad. So on this iPad, all her text messages are coming through. She ain't turned this iPad on in a second. She got hella suspicious text messages. And mind you, she got a boyfriend. I live with her, with no boyfriend and her. But it ain't my business, okay? So keep this in mind, y'all. So basically, you're cheating on your nigga. Like, that's not my business, though. Like, I don't care. It ain't for me to know. But now I'm definitely ready to get up out of here, because why are you leaving to go cheat on this man for 6 days out the week, and then you leaving me at home with him? No, that's too much. So after that, I was just like, yeah, I need to get up out of here. Really, actually. Because this too much drama. And no, it's too much. It's putting me in a weird predicament. So bam, I never told her that I knew she was cheating on this boy. Because quite frankly, I was planning to move out that house anyways and get my motherfucking ass the fuck up out their life, because she's mentally ill. And quite frankly, I don't want nothing to do with none of this no more. So one day I'm at the house chilling and she randomly comes home. Now mind you, I told y'all she be gone most of the week. So, she in the house and she telling me how, oh, we need to start hanging out more. We need to start talking more. We need to start catching up, blah, blah, blah. Girl, let's go to the lake. And I'm like, girl, okay, we can catch up. So while we chilling at the lake, y'all, she started opening up to me, telling me how she be staying the night at her boy best friend's house, and that's why she's never home. And that she got so tired of driving all the way back home after work because she worked at a warehouse that was like an hour out of town. And how her homegirl be at the house with her boy best friend, and her homegirl has a boyfriend, and they all be chilling, and everybody got into a big argument. So that's why she's not going to be staying over there for the next few days. And then she started talking shit about the homegirl, mind you, that she just mentioned. Like shit. I'm talking about down to telling me what type of medicine that girl take for her mental issues. So I'm like, oh yeah, this girl's definitely weird. But nonetheless, she then wants to go to Target. So while we're at Target, she picks up a PlayStation game. And I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You done got your boyfriend a gift? And she's like, nah, this is for my boy best friend. And his wife wanted me to pick it up for him. And I'm like, damn, sis, your boy best friend has a wife? And she's like, yeah, the wife works day shifts, so she's never really home. and how she babysits the kids while the wife is at work. So I'm just looking at her like, oh, okay, period. And y'all, this what really did it for me. We then go down to the decorative aisle and look at a mirror. And she wants to get a big ass mirror to put inside her living room. Like, it's a long, tall, fat ass mirror. And I'm like, damn sis, like, you gonna mount that on the wall so we don't have to worry about that falling on my daughter? And she's like, you just need to watch your child, because I'm not gonna mount anything to my walls for your child. Oh, baby, see, I was going to try to make it work out another month to make myself a little comfortable, but nah, baby. I called up one of my homegirls. I'm like, yo, can I just come stay at your house till my motherfucking apartment ready? Because I'm about to rip some hair out somebody's head. So now I'm, like, actually done and ready to get the fuck out before something bad happens. And mind y'all, I still didn't tell the boyfriend that she was cheating. Like for part 4, and that's going to be the last part. Okay, bet. So I'm ready to get the fuck up out this bitch house. And, you know, I got all my stuff together, and, you know, I let her know that I was going to be moving out. And so she did not want me to go. She's like, oh, like, we can still make it work. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'll buy a mount, all this different stuff. And I'm just like, nah, baby. I'm good, okay? So, child, keep in mind, she want me to stay, right? So while I let her know I'm going to be coming to get the rest of my stuff the next day, y'all. The next day comes, I can only get half of my stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to come get the last bit of my stuff in the bed in a couple more days when I get everything situated. And so she's like, nah, you need to get everything today, or I'm going to put it all outside and you can come pick it up from outside, because I'm going to be changing my door code and you need to pay to get it changed. And for one, I'm not finna pay to get no door locks changed when you sent the money back to me and told me it was cool. And for two, you're not finna put my stuff outside. So, you know, she still don't know that I know she cheating on her nigga, y'all. So, you know, I'm letting her yap and I'm trying to be mature, but I'm just like, girl, listen, honestly, if you put my shit outside, I'm finna tell that nigga look through your iPad. So put it outside if you want to. And so immediately her whole tone just, you looked inside my iPad? Yeah, bitch. Now, like I said, put my stuff outside if you want to. And she's like, it's okay. I won't put it outside. Just let me know when you're going to be here. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I told her, I don't know why you're being so nasty, rude, and negative right now, but if you continue to make this situation any harder for me than what it has to be, because mind you, I didn't even mention how when I was staying there, I was doing hair and stuff and doing nails and stuff, and she was trying to stop my motion. But it's just too much, y'all. It's too much. By saying her whole long, nice message, and I'm like, you know, I'm done. I'm just going to get my stuff and get the fuck about your life. Like, leave me alone. So, okay, cool. Left that there, right? So I contact her boyfriend because he has a truck, and I'm like, yo, like, can you get my bed taken to my house for me, please? And he's like, yeah, I got you. Send the address tomorrow. So, you know, tomorrow comes and I send the address. And why the fuck am I blocked? And I'm like, bro, I know he didn't block me. So I make a text now and I call him and I'm like, hey, did you block my number? And he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she went into your phone, seeing that you were going to be bringing me my bed, and blocked you so you wouldn't bring me my bed and you'd never receive. Okay, cool, bet. Check her iPad, Brody. That's exactly what I said. Check that fucking iPad since you want to try to make this harder. Yep. And I ended up finding somebody else with a truck to go get the bed, and I pulled up, got my bed, left untouched. Like, y'all, it was just so much crazy stuff. Like, even in the midst of when me and her were arguing in the beginning, she was talking about how she was using my money that I was sending her for bills to go fucking shopping, and how I didn't even help with the bills for real. Like, y'all, that girl was weird. And the real kicker through all this, y'all, months after this whole fallout happened, somebody came up to me and they asked me what happened between me and her falling out. And mind you, I didn't tell nobody that me and her fell out, even though she was dead ass wrong. And I'm like, why you asking me that? And they like, oh, well, she told us that you was trying to fuck with her nigga, so she kicked you out her house. Anyways, though, y'all be blessed.
So I've decided to tell the full story of how I was harassed for 4 years. So is my child's father, and so is his wife. Only in the end, after court and subpoenas, I found out it was really my child's father's wife doing it to all of us, but making it look like it was me. This is a re-edited part 1. I'm going to re-edit and repost parts 1 through 5 because they keep getting removed. If you've already watched parts 1 through 10, these will be similar, but I'm going to try and add some more screenshots so they're a little more detailed. It started in 2019 when someone was commenting on my social media. They were calling me fat, ugly, this and that. And I had no idea who it was, so I just went ahead and made my account private. And then a few months later, I start getting calls from local gyms telling me that they are giving me a call because I requested more information about their gym. It's like I didn't. Well, then I get emails from different companies, and then weight loss companies, and then plastic surgery companies, and then hormone replacement companies. So, but they're all labeled to me. So someone had to have gone in there and signed me up for these. And this was happening all the time. I mean, a couple times a week I was getting this for a while. Then I start getting text messages. Now at this time, I had on and off boyfriend. We were kind of at the end of our breaking up. And I'm getting these messages calling me fat, but some of these messages are mentioning I don't want to use my ex's name. I don't want to bring him into this at all. Let's just call him John. Leave John alone. And I was like, what? And so then I have a fake account, made up account on Facebook messaging me to tell me that John is cheating on me. Him and I are already not doing well. So all these things are just kind of like the icing on the cake. We're done. And the messages continue to come on through after that. And so I'm thinking at this point, he must be dating someone new, or on and off. He met someone and they're trying to break us up. So this has got to be that person. I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the same person as before, but now they're mentioning my on and off boyfriend. So I don't know. I'm just really confused by it. Fast forward a couple months and the messages they start to get a little more aggressive. Now they're making comments, if I did certain acts better, I could have kept my man. They're mentioning John again. They're implying that there are nude photos of me posted in mom's groups. So of course I am very concerned about all of this. These messages are coming more frequently, and now it's not just emails and calls. And I'm a single mom. It's me and my daughter. This has been going on for a while. Is it someone different? Is it someone new? Like, what is going on? I'm really, really worried about this. And now my child's father and I have a falling out, and he tells me to stop sending him and his wife fake messages from fake accounts. Stop harassing us. I'm like, what are you talking about? And we're arguing. He's like, stop doing it. I said, I'm getting messages too. Like, what's the number? He pulls out his phone and it is the exact same number of whoever has been harassing me. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm telling him and he's not listening. Come to find out, he's been getting these messages for 4 months. 4 months he's been receiving these messages at least. Those are the recent ones that he's been receiving. And so him and his wife are receiving them, but the messages to them look like they're coming from me. Leave Angel alone. Why are you guys so mean to Angel? Stop harassing her. Then messages to my child's father's wife. Let's call her LK. To LK, are you engaged to so-and-so? Let's call my kid's dad. Let's call him Rick, okay? Are you engaged to Rick? Are you really gonna think he's gonna marry you? He's gonna cheat on you like he's done his other girlfriends, implying about me. And so he'd show me some messages. I didn't know what they all said, but I got the gist. Somebody was definitely trying to get us all fighting, or something was going on. It was just really strange. Well, now pizzas start getting delivered to my home. One day it's $150 worth, and then a few days later it's another $150 worth. They're not paid for. They're not paid for, and these drivers are not happy. And it's frustrating to me because I'm at home with my daughter and like, I don't want these people pissed off at me, but whoever's doing this to me knows where I live. They know where I live, and I'm very uncomfortable. I don't know what to do. Then that Saturday night at 11:47 at night, another order of pizza. I'm in bed. I'm asleep. It wakes me up. I'm getting so frustrated because I just don't even feel safe in my home. What's going to be next? This has been going on for a long time. I don't know if it's the same person, a different person. I'm just so confused. Well, now because of all this, my child's father and I aren't getting along. Him and his wife are pissed at me. We're arguing. My daughter is absolutely feeling the effects of us arguing. She's coming home and telling me what she's hearing about me. Like, I'm super emotional. I'm just mentally, I don't know how much more I can take. I am just freaking out. I feel like it's coming from all ends. Then his wife starts posting videos on Instagram talking about me, that I'm crazy, that I'm harassing her and my child's father. I see these things and I just comment and I say something like, you know, I think it's really inappropriate that you're doing this. At the end of the day, we're trying to help. We're trying to raise a child together. Posting this, talking about me isn't going to make the situation any better. She writes a comment back, and before I can say anything, she blocks me. And then my friend, I'm telling her what's going on, she's following along with it, and she calls me. She's like, Angel, someone else just commented and said, why did they block me? And I'm like, but no one would know she blocked me other than me and her. I'm like, this is really weird. And the timing, the person commented within minutes of her and I's interaction. So that means this fake account is watching us. And I'm like, something is off here. Like, my ex, his new girlfriend, they're not going to be watching her and I's interaction. And so I get this idea, and I learned on TikTok that if you log out of Instagram, you type in the username, it'll ask you how you want to get back in, and it'll say email or phone number, and it'll post the email and phone number. It marks out all the middle characters, and you can only see the first 2 digits or characters and the last 2 characters of each one. And this fake account, the last 2 digits of the phone number are the same as LK's. So then I'm like, I have to do hers. So I put it in. The last 2 phone numbers and the last 2 of the email and phone number, they match. It's identical. Is this a coincidence, or is this her? Has this been her? Everything is going through my mind. Like, did I just pick up on something? Has it been her the entire time? Or is she just so mad at me? Because when the person said, why did you block Angel? It allowed her to go in this 3-paragraph rant about how I'm terrible, how I harass them, how I've done this, how I've done that, how I'm so unhappy in my life. Like, goes on and on and on. But it was like the perfect opening for her to just really rip me apart. And so it's like, did she just do that so she had a reason to talk about me? Was she sending the text messages? Looking back at the photos, was that her? I don't even know. Everything's spinning. But my daughter goes over there, and she's she's around this woman. And if this is this woman this entire time, like, what lengths will she go to? And so I'm freaking out. I don't even know. Everything's spinning. But my daughter goes over there, and she's she's around this woman. And if this is this woman this entire time, like, what lengths will she go to? And so I'm freaking out. I go ahead and I tell my child's father that I think it's my ex-boyfriend. And I do this because I said, send me all the screenshots you have, all the text messages, all the emails, all that harassment that's happened to you guys. Let me see it. I'm going to go to the police station and file a report against him. They send me everything. I make a timeline, and as I start to go over it, I notice every time that he's getting a message bringing me up is a day or time that we're meeting for open house at school, any kind of dance event, cheer event, tumbling, anything she has going on. It's aligning. And I'm writing out, and the reason I know is because I went back through my calendar, I went back through all my photos to see what I was doing that day at that time. And it was all lining up to whenever we met up. And I was like, was she sending these texts to get him and I to hate each other? Did she start this from the beginning? Because it worked. Like, we used to actually get along, and now we no, it's not great. I don't know though. I don't know. Am I just leaking too deep into this? Like, my whole world is spinning. And so I go to the police station, and the police try and track all these fake numbers, and they said it comes from an app. There's nothing they can do. I tell them what's going on. There's nothing they can do. And I just feel helpless. Things died down for a little while. About 5 months later, I'm hanging out with one of my guy best friends a lot. His mom was really ill, so we've been spending a lot of time together. Best friends since high school, we're posting a lot of photos. Well, then he starts getting emails to his work email, so someone could easily Google it. Hey, Angel, welcome back to Match.com. So whoever's sending it is thinking that we're dating, I'm assuming, and trying to break us up. And it was just, is it her? Like, I don't even know. I don't know what to think. I don't know. And so then a few months later, I start talking to someone. He starts getting these things. And I'm like, am I ever going to be able to have a life? Like, it's coming in from all angles. Fast forward to January of 2023. Someone is going on, I'm a realtor, and someone is going on realtor.com. They're going on realtor.com and they're requesting to view a property. I forgot to mention, they're requesting to view properties using my name, but LK's phone number and email address. Well, anytime you request to view a property, there is an agent on the other end of that is paying for leads. Every lead probably costs between a few $100 to a few $1,000s. So when someone makes a request that isn't a serious buyer, it sucks. Like, you're going to get mad. So I found out about this because at first my child's father reached out to let me know that someone had, that agents had been reaching out to LK asking her about viewing a property because she inquired. And he's like, I think your leads are getting mixed up or your information. I'm like, what? He goes, well, they're calling and asking for Angel, but they're using her phone number and email. And I was like, that has to be her doing it. I forgot to mention, when I caught on to the text message in the Instagram, I brought it to his attention. I showed him what I found, and he told me that her email had been hacked, so he didn't know what I was talking about. Someone hacked her email and made an Instagram account to harass us. Like, that made no sense. So I had a pretty good feeling when he brought this to my attention. I told him, like, hey, it's not me doing it. I think it's your wife doing it. And he's like, no, it's not. I think there's just an issue. Something's mixed up. I said, there's nothing mixed up. Like, people have to physically go in online, request to view a property, pick a time, it goes to that agent. So it's not just a coincidence. It's nothing that's just accidentally happening. I'm frustrated, but I kind of brush it off because what can I do? Well, then my team leader calls me, and he calls to tell me that he has complaints from other agents. Other agents are calling him to complain that I'm wasting their leads. I just start crying. I start crying because I'm so frustrated. This has been going on for so long. I've been on my team only 6 months. I'm embarrassed. I'm trying to explain the situation. Now I have to explain that I think that it's my husband's wife doing it, but that makes no sense. And just telling the story is just insane. So he gives me these agents information so I can call them and apologize and tell them what's going on. So I call them. Come to find out, when they called LK, she was like, hey, I'm so sorry. My husband's ex is doing this. This is her name and this is the broker she's with. Like, she's just like basically telling him, go make a complaint. And they did. And so I don't know who really requested to view those homes. I don't know, but I'm telling you what I found out. So at this point, I'm livid. I'm absolutely livid. I send her and him a group message, and I said, this is it. It is going to stop now. You are coming after my career. This is it. It is ending today. She responds with some message about me being a narcissist and this and that. So, like I said, he thinks he's still saying someone's like trying to set us up against each other. He's like, let's do a lie detector test. Let's get this over with. I'll pay for it. Let's figure this out. We both say, okay, we're all in agreement. I reach out the next day and I contact a person that does lie detector tests. I found out it's $500 a person. They have availability that week. And so I respond in the message and I'm like, hey, they can see us. What day is good for you? What day? And he says, we've decided we're not going to do it. I said, what? He goes, it's not accurate. I've looked into it. It's too expensive not to be accurate. And I'm like, well, neither of us are like super sleuths that are going to be able to pass a lie detector test. Like, I'm sure that it's inaccurate for someone who is trained in that, but I'm not. And I said, truthfully, I said, I'll pay it. I will pay the $500 each because this is important to me. And in my mind, this is going to be a lot cheaper than any other route I take, which would be an attorney. And so I offer to pay for it. And he still says no. He says, we're not going to waste our time. And so I said, okay, well, I will give you $100 if she can pass. And he says no. And I said, you don't have to pay me child support for the rest of the year if she can pass that lie detector test. And I said, it is in writing right here. I said, this is how certain I am that it is her doing this to me. And I said, I need to prove it to you because in my mind, she's doing this because she can get away with it. But if he realizes it's her, the gig's up. Like, she can't pit us against each other anymore. And I'm noticing, like, it's the reason I think that this happened this time was because him and I were starting to get along again. And next thing you know, all this shit stirred up. And he still says no, that he won't do it. I get a cease and desist in the mail from her like 3 days later. And it lists every single thing that she's ever done to me that I've done to her. I am blown away. I am shocked. Like, I've caught her with the Instagram. I know that it has to be her with the realtor.com. I'm so close. I feel like I'm so close. And she sends a cease and desist. And I send them a group message and I said, I am just blown away at the lengths you are going to right now. I said, deep down I've done this. I said, that I don't harass you on Instagram because we figured out that wasn't my account. And I hear nothing back. 4 days later, I am asleep, and at 2:30 in the morning, I hear a knock at my door, banging at my door, and I pull up my camera, and it's the sheriff's department, and all I can think is that my baby is dead because she's with her dad, and why do the sheriffs come to your house at 2:30 in the morning for bad news? I run to the door in my pajamas, in my underwear, basically, and I have tears in my eyes. I open it up, and I'm shaking. I'm waiting, and they hand me an injunction. They handed me an injunction from her. Now, at this time, I can say with a smile on my face, at that moment, I was on my knees crying my eyes out because I didn't even know what was going on in my life. How is this happening? she's done, I know now that it has to have been her. She's doing all these things and she's trying to cover her tracks because I'm so close, because I'm begging for a lie detector test, because I'm offering to give up child support. I'm assuming that they must be arguing, and so she has to do something to just prove to him it's not her. That's all I can think of, but I don't know. These are my theories. These are not facts, okay? Like, and so that next day, I had already consulted with an attorney and a cyber investigator. It was just a lot of money as a single mother that I really wasn't trying to spend. I called on a Saturday morning, I think Sunday morning, whatever the next day was. I had this attorney's cell phone number. I called him and said, I'm sorry, it's an emergency. I was crying. I said, I couldn't sleep. I was woken up at 2:30 in the morning. I didn't go back to bed. You have to remember, my daughter was with this woman when this was going on. My everything, my little girl is with the woman who I believe has been harassing me for 4 years, all because of who I had a child with. That little child is all that's keeping us connected, and all I can think of is my daughter okay? I am just devastated. I don't say anything to him or her that I even got the injunction, because at this time, this is it. I'm going through my attorney. We go to the injunction hearing that week. My attorney asks for an extension. Obviously, at that point, we could have proved that I hadn't done anything, because there was no evidence that I've ever done anything. If anything, I had evidence. But at this, I wanted it done. I wanted to use this opportunity to get subpoenas and finally prove that it was never me. Judge gives us an extension, and we go ahead and start filing subpoenas for Instagram, Realtor.com, and the fake text messaging company. My cyber investigator had to put all the numbers in to find out what app they were related to. They came from something called Bandwidth, and so we had to subpoena them. Of course, all of these companies are out of state, so now you have to serve something that is called a domestic subpoena. I learned all this. It's more money. It's more money, essentially, because you were serving an entity out of state. While all this is going on, I reach out to my child's father's ex-wife, because I feel like if I'm being harassed, maybe she's being harassed. We talk for a little while, and a few days later, my attorney lets me know that LK has filed that I violated the injunction. Apparently, when I was talking to the ex-wife, the son, her son, who she shares with my child's father, saw it, went back and told his dad, like, hey, Angel and my mom were talking. LK filed an injunction, filed saying that I violated the injunction because I called someone to talk about her. Well, I did call someone to talk about her because I think this woman's crazy. I think, that is my opinion. And I want to know if anyone else has had this problem, because I need witnesses. I need a sane life. I went through this for way too long. It started in 2019. At this point, it is 2023. I need answers. I want to be able to sleep at night. I am under so much stress, and so my anxiety is terrible. I had to get anti-anxiety medication, and then I started clenching my jaw at night from the stress. I got TMJ. I had to get a mouth guard, because this was just going on for so long. But it wasn't the pettiness. Now, finding out that it could potentially be the woman who's helping raise my child, I am terrified. I am in fear. I legally have to make my daughter go over there no matter what, because no one has done anything to my daughter. As a mom, I feel just absolutely awful every time I send her. And I tried not sending her one time, and he called the police, and they made them do a welfare check, and they came inside my home, and they pulled my little girl to the side, and they wouldn't let me in the room, and I could hear her crying when I was outside the room, because they were asking her if she's fed. She hid under the bed and cried, and she asked them if they're going to take her away from me. And it was a really, really hard thing, because I had never done anything except for, like, love my daughter. She's just the most amazing kid. I love her so much, and she's a good kid. She's got a good heart, and to hear this going on, it was terrible. Like, I just got off track there. So, going back, obviously, the courts don't do anything. They don't see any kind of violation. Nothing happens. 2 weeks later, my attorney calls me to let me know that she has filed another violation, whatever it is, something saying that I violated the injunction, and she's requesting that I'm arrested, because that's ultimately what happens if you violate it. She said that I sent her an Instagram message threatening her. My attorney sends me a screenshot, and that's my page. but I didn't send a message, and I'm so confused. I'm like, what the hell? But it's an old account that I don't even use anymore. And so I log into it, and I haven't sent any messages. And I go under activity, and it shows you on Instagram, and it shows that I haven't logged in there in over a week or whatever time it shows. I'm so confused. I start looking back and forth and examining. She sent a screenshot of me viewing her story. But when I see it, it says my username, like Angel and K viewed your story. It doesn't say Angel. Well, when you view someone's story, it doesn't show as their username. It shows as what their name is under there. And I'm like, I start looking further. She created, somebody, I don't know who, someone created an account that looked just like mine and sent LK a message, and LK took this message and asked to have me arrested. But obviously that never happened. I did not get arrested. They did not see any proof of anything. I had never sent the message. So it was around the end of May 2023, probably a month after we started sending the subpoenas, that Instagram responded. So it was around the end of May 2023, probably a month after we started sending the subpoenas, that Instagram responded and they objected. And then Realtor.com responded and they objected. And it was a terrible feeling. It was awful. I had spent so much money. I couldn't believe it. I didn't have the money to continue to fight, especially these large companies. And I was feeling like it was never going to end, that I would never get any kind of justice. A couple weeks later, the text messaging company responded, and they gave us every single message associated with the account. And the account was linked and registered to LK's phone number. When you download the app and you start using it, it sends you an SMS message to your phone, and you have to reply back. That's how they confirm it's you. I have all the messages she ever sent and received from those fake accounts. The company also sent a letter of authenticity from the record keeper himself, stating that everything came from him. It is all legitimate. My attorney had a call with him. I was absolutely shocked. But I start reading the messages, and I'm not the only one receiving them. It is also my LK's ex-boyfriend, LK's ex-boyfriend's new wife, LK's ex-husband's new fiance. The random messages going to these people, and I don't know who they are at first, but my cyber investigator traced some of them that we couldn't figure out, that were we couldn't find the names on, and then I just reached out to some people to find out as well. And so I started talking to them. I couldn't even believe it. The messages, all of them, there were messages. So my child's father and his wife got married in October of, it was 2021, whatever it was, October. The messages started to them in July. So a few months before their wedding, she was sending herself messages. Don't marry him. He's going to cheat on you like he cheated on me. Things like that. So obviously she'd go back to him. Now I have all the messages. I have all the records. I have the subpoenas. I have the letter. Like, I have receipts for everything. I not to get too off track. So I take all of this. I wait till meet up with my child's father, and I show it to him, and I tell him. And first he tells me I'm a psycho, I'm crazy, there's no way. And he starts reading the messages, and I said, how did I know? How would I even know who her ex-boyfriend was? How would I know who his new wife is? Why would I message him? How would I know private things? That ex-boyfriend's new wife was pregnant, and she was sending her messages the month that she was due, telling her, be careful, he's cheating on you with me. We were out, here's the he sent me, I don't know if you can say that on a TikTok, like, I'm not a TikToker. These messages, like, I don't want to tell their story. It is their trauma, it's their story to tell. They honestly were scared to ever say anything because they wanted it to stop. Because after I spoke with them, situations that I had, fake accounts that looked just like me, but these fake accounts are messaging their work or their friends. We all had similar things in common. It was insane. It was crazy. So I tell my child's father, I tell him, like, everything. I read these messages to him. There is a message I want to read right now, because this is the one that is the most disgusting to me. Absolutely the most disgusting. It is a message, a text message to Child Protective Services. She messaged Child Protective Services. A completely fake story. I was at a part 4 keeps getting removed, and I don't know why. I'm going to reread the text message. I'm thinking maybe that has something to do with it, and I'll just take out or change some of the words. This is the message that LK sent to Child Protective Services. I was at a birthday party today and saw some disturbing behavior. I spoke to my husband tonight and we agreed we should reach out. My son is in kindergarten and we are invited to his classmates' party. It seemed fine to start. I met the mom and later the dad and stepmom. All seemed nice. Then all of a sudden I was watching my youngest son and heard screaming. The mother was going crazy on the dad. He seemed to stay calm, but she was screaming in his face, which was weird. But then I took my son inside to change and overheard her speaking to her daughter. She was saying horrific things and her to stay quiet. Kendall was begging her mom to stop, and I couldn't see clearly, but it sounded like she was her down. Then Kendall left, and she was telling someone else how she just overdid the medicine she took. I don't know what that meant. My son cried the entire way home after watching her freak out. It was so strange, and I spoke to another mom there since we were going to tell our school. My husband thought I'd better report it directly. This is a woman who loves my child. This is a woman who is supposedly loves her like her own and is helping raise her. This is a woman that I have to let my daughter see. I tell my child's father, like, this isn't okay. None of this is okay. He's like, I need to read this. He takes it. He calls me the next day. He's like, I want to talk to your investigator. We get my investigator on three-way. We have a really good conversation. He tells me I will keep her away from our daughter. It's going to be okay. I'm going to get her out of there. A week later, he lets me know that he looked in her phone. There was no fake app, and that he wants to remain neutral and stay out of the situation. My daughter's staying in the home with her, and there's nothing I can do about it. Everything else that happened, I mean, we ended up going to court. It got postponed again because they wanted another extension. They asked me to drop it. I refused. When I refused to drop it, my child's father then filed 4 contempts of court against me. Oh, I didn't mention when I got the text records, I immediately filed my own injunction. I thought I had the proof to get protection. I thought this was going to be it. So I filed my injunction and they asked me to take it away. They asked me not to. Her attorney's response and their response to my messages were that my daughter also had access to her phone. My daughter was like 5 at the time. My daughter wasn't sending these messages to DCF about her own mother. Like, that wasn't happening. I no words. Court comes around and the judge won't even let these be seen because at this time it is now the end of July. The reason it's taken so long is because our first court appearance was in February. We asked for an extension to serve the subpoenas. Our next court hearing was going to be in April, but we didn't have the subpoenas back yet. We had to postpone it again, well, because it was going to be over summer break, and both of the attorneys had plans already for vacations. It got moved to August. I was devastated over this. This had been going on for so long. Meanwhile, there's an injunction hanging over my head. Twice she has tried to file things to get me arrested, knowing that I did nothing wrong. She's shown up on pickup and drop-offs when she's saying that she's scared of me. I mean, she really shouldn't be showing up at these things, but here she is like, I want this done as soon as possible. Well, they request another extension. I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, she's saying that her and her best friend are receiving fake messages. Well, I forgot to mention this. Back in June, my child's father told me that her attorney was her best friend's boyfriend. And at that time, up until June, she had paid nothing for legal representation. He was doing it for free. For free! For free. It was disgusting. Just the worst feeling in my stomach knowing that I had put out all this money and she had someone helping her. Well, for free. I don't know if he ever charged her anything. I have no idea if maybe when he received all the text messages, if he said that I'm going to charge you now. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is as of June, my child's father had told me that she had paid nothing. But they're saying now that her and her best friend are receiving fake messages from me. Now, they haven't sent or shown us anything. They want to serve subpoenas. And I'm like, I didn't send anything. Would it make sense for me if I'm this close, why would I create an account at this far in the game? Why would I do that? My theory is that maybe the attorney was starting to see the truth. Maybe he didn't want to do the free work anymore. Maybe he was going to charge her. Maybe he was going to drop her. She had to concoct something, bring his girlfriend into it. I don't know. That's my theory. I mean, so many crazy things happened. I don't know why. That's just what my thoughts are. I mentioned during this time, I also got a couple fake messages, but they were just stupid. Like, oh, are we still on for dinner? Like trying to like get me to engage in conversation. My only thought of what purpose that would serve is maybe hoping that I issued subpoenas on those numbers, and when maybe she had gotten or bought a different phone by that time and it wouldn't be connected, and they were going to try to play some card or play a hand saying that, oh look, this isn't from her and this was, so there could be multiple people. I don't know what the game plan was, but it was still going on. So we are still in the middle of this court process and these things are still happening. So this is the first time I have ever really shared this story with anyone other than my close friends. A lot of it had to do with, I didn't think anyone would believe me. This had been manipulated and calculated so well that when I went to my attorney, I said, if you don't believe me, I understand. I said, because it looks like I did it. I absolutely understand. Like, it looks like I did it. And at the time when I first met him, I had no proof. I just had this wild story of years and years.
That kind of energy where someone offers big things too quickly almost always means they either don't mean it or there are strings attached they haven't told you about yet. Generosity that moves that fast is usually about control more than care. The door code thing was actually a green flag from the narrator, honestly. She took accountability, offered to pay, done. But the moment homegirl sent the money back and said, never mind, that was her storing it. People who forgive out loud but don't actually let it go are dangerous because now they have ammunition and you don't even know it. The hair situation told me everything about who this woman is. She kept moving the goalpost the entire day and then acted shocked when she got left behind. That's a person who doesn't respect your time, but deeply expects you to respect hers. And the way she kept adding one more thing after another once the friends were already inside, classic. Some people just cannot stand watching you enjoy yourself without them being the center of it. Walking around the entire complex just to come check on the patio was unhinged to me. Like, that's not a casual move. That's surveillance dressed up as socializing. Moving someone into your home and then leaving them alone with your boyfriend 6 days a week while you're at your situationship's house? That's putting someone in a position they never signed up for. That's actually unfair as hell to everyone involved. Telling people she kicked her out because she was trying to mess with her man? That's the real lesson right there, honestly. Some people rewrite the story the second you're not around to correct it. You can be completely in the right and still end up as the villain in somebody else's version of events. That's just how it goes sometimes. There was actually a murder podcast just like this, where the crazy ex was pretending to be stalked, but it was her the whole time. This sounds like an episode of 2020 I recently watched. I can't believe there's psycho people like this. Messing with all those pizza businesses, wasting their supplies and money is so frustrating. This lady is crazy. Wow. I automatically thought it was the GF. I always look for the common connection to all people involved. I would have told my ex a crazy lie and see if the text mentioned the crazy lie. Don't you love it when cops say, there's nothing we can do, when it's literally their job to do something? She's smart. She really handled all of this with grace. I'm just upset that I have only found you today. He is definitely jealous. Does she have any kids with him? She's mad that you guys had a kid together. That's intimacy right there, and she knows it. She knows how intimate that is, and it bothers her. She was probably afraid that he would want you or want to get back with you, and to prevent that, she did all this. Obviously, she doesn't feel confident in her relationship with him. The knowledge she has that you and him were together and had a baby is her insecurity. She probably has 0 kids with him and wants some, and it makes her mad. Sorry, it sounds like you've been to hell and back. He is definitely jealous. Does she have any kids with him? She's mad that you guys had a kid together. That's intimacy right there, and she knows it. She knows how intimate that is, and it bothers her. She was probably afraid that he would want you or want to get back with you, and to prevent that, she did all this. Obviously, she doesn't feel confident in her relationship with him. The knowledge she has that you and him were together and had a baby is her insecurity. She probably has 0 kids with him and wants some, and it makes her mad. Sorry, it sounds like you've been to hell and back. The people on the outside watching. Half of them won't say anything, even when they see it. Because getting involved feels risky. Because they don't want the energy redirected toward them. So they stay quiet and watch it happen and tell themselves it's not their business. That silence is its own form of participation. The moment she started involving strangers, businesses, delivery drivers, people who had nothing to do with any of it, that's when it crossed into something else entirely. Personal vendettas are one thing. Weaponizing innocent people who are just trying to do their jobs is a different level of selfish. Those businesses lost real money. Those drivers wasted real time. She treated everyone around her like props in her own private war. There's a certain type of person who can compartmentalize like that, who can smile at you, act normal, maybe even be kind, and then go home and do something completely unhinged. That's scarier than someone who's visibly volatile. At least with volatile people, you can see it coming. The calm ones who are privately obsessed, you never see them until the damage is already done. The part that sticks with me is how long it went on before it was resolved. That's months of someone's life, months of looking over your shoulder, questioning everything, wondering what's coming next. That kind of prolonged stress doesn't just go away when the situation ends. It rewires how you move through the world. You become hypervigilant. You start reading exits before you enter rooms. You trust slower. That's not paranoia. That's your nervous system learning from experience. And she still had to show up for her kid through all of it. That part doesn't get said enough. Whatever was happening externally, there was a child watching how their mother handled impossible circumstances. And she handled it. That's not small. That's actually everything. The ex moving on and building something real with someone else is the actual trigger for all of this. It always is. It's never really about the new woman. It's about what the new woman represents. Progress. Proof that life continued. Proof that he was capable of showing up for someone, even if he didn't always show up the right way before. That's the thing that cracked her open. Not jealousy exactly. More like grief she refused to process, turned outward into destruction.